Yeah, she just did.
She's no learn much.
Yeah. See me, ready? Oh, yeah. Everybody ready? Use that gavel tonight. Good evening. I'd like to call the regular Borough Council meeting of November 14th, 2022 to order. This meeting has been properly advertised in the Home News Tribune of January 7th, 2022, according to Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Here.
Councilwoman Newbauer. Councilman O'Donnell.
Here.
Councilman Peretti.
Here.
Councilman Potter.
Here.
And Councilman Revelinsky.
Here.
And for the record, Rich Revelinsky is calling in this evening.
On the phone.
That was cute.
He throws his voice really well. All right, will you please stand and join me in a moment of silence and a salute to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. So now we have a special proclamation, so I'm going to come down there and I'm going to ask all of our honorees to join me up here by the podium.
Stay in your seat there.
One team on one side, the other team on the other side.
Oh, yeah, please don't go through there.
You can squeeze in. That's fine.
This is just fun.
We good? All right. Well, wait. First we'll read the official proclamation, then we'll let everybody come up and take pictures, okay? So we're honored to have not one but two teams here to celebrate this evening. We have the Milltown 8U tournament team and the Milltown 12U tournament team. So I am going to read the official proclamation that covers both teams and their tremendous accomplishments. Whereas Milltown Little League Baseball 8 and under and 12 and under tournament teams competed in and won the 2022 District 10 League Championship for New Jersey Little League Baseball in their age groups. And whereas this dedicated group of athletes has stepped to the plate and made Milltown proud, and whereas the 2022 8 and under team consisted of players Nicholas Durkin, Christopher Allegre, Anthony Sipot, Maddox Hall, Alex Fama, Aiden Caruso, Trey Duffy, Connor Cahill, Boaz Chakowski, Michael Larson, Joseph Kaplan, and whereas this team was led by manager Matt Durkin, assistant manager Mark Chakowski, and team coaches Mike Hall and Jared Boyd. And whereas the 2022 12 and under team consisted of players Joe Modesta, Tyrus Lazar, Garrett Hewitt, Bill Melvin, Kyle James, Okasha Asrar, Connor Buckley, Roshan Janagathan. Sorry, how do you spell that? I'm sorry. I knew I was going to mess that up. I apologize. Brady DiStefano, Ryder Redondo, Nick Acquaviva, Garrett Kneller, Benny Moten, Jack Abrams, and whereas this team was led by manager Doug Redondo and team coaches Ed Buckley and Chris DiStefano. And whereas, in the words of Michael Jordan, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Now, therefore, in honor and appreciation for the accomplishments of the Milltown Little League Baseball District 10 All-Star teams for the 8 and under age group and the 12 and under age group, and the dedication and support of their coaches and parents, I, Trina Mayer, Mayor of the Borough of Milltown, along with the Borough Council, do hereby congratulate the Milltown Little League Baseball District 10 All-Stars on their Little League Baseball District 10 championship wins. I witness that I set my hand and cause the official seal of the Borough of Milltown to be affixed on this 14th day of November, 2022. So congratulations to all. Got your sign? Yeah, well, one or the other. Yeah, there you go. And your coaches have this proclamation for each one of you, so you can take it home with you. So, thanks for making Milltown proud. Great job, guys. Congratulations. All right. All set? Great. Thanks, guys. Thanks so much for coming. Good job. Sorry we kept you waiting all that time. Bye, guys. Oh, sure. My pleasure.
That's my assistant moving the powder.
Good, how are you? Take care.
What is Mike showing up in there? Would you just do the quick vote on this? I'm gonna read the DPW report for Anna. I don't know what's going on. When the sound is on, it doesn't do. I have it on mute, and it's dinging. So I'm gonna set it. I'm setting it. So
Absolutely. It's actually pretty funny. I was talking to my father today. He said, thank you very much. It's like Hogan's Heroes. My wife was
turn that off.
Sadly, yes.
Now it's like there's no. Where did everything go? Don't worry, Charlie.
That's fine. No, we'll let the other folks come in.
Yeah.
The ones patiently standing room only crowd can sit down.
Did not read it. I'm sure they
You gonna make it? We are building a boat cruise on the Mississippi. Starting leave tomorrow, disembark on Wednesday. It's essentially from New Orleans to back. So come back on Sunday. So you don't. Oh, don't. Next week I think we'll somewhere a little different. So sorry, I missed it. We'll be next week. I've been down there a long time.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, now we're back. So, night, congratulations again to the both teams. It was nice to have a lively crowd here for a while, but welcome to the folks that were waiting outside. So, now we'll move on to the approval of minutes from October 24th, 2022. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Peretti, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any comments or corrections?
Madam Mayor, I'm going to abstain because I was absent from the last meeting.
Okay, great. All in favor?
Aye. Abstain.
Any opposed? Okay. So next, we're going to move on to the Best Practice 2022 Survey Review. I'm going to ask Jeanette Larison, our BA, to explain the best practices and to manage any questions from the council. If there aren't questions from the audience at this time, but if they do have questions about it, they can address it under comments from the audience on resolutions. So does anyone on the council have any questions about the best practice survey review? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to comments from the audience on resolutions. If any member of the public wishes to speak on any of the resolutions, please identify yourself to the clerk and say your name and address for the record. These comments are limited to resolutions listed on the agenda. Seeing none, I'll close audience comments, and we'll move on to bills and claims. Will the clerk please read by title only Bill Resolution 243, 2022?
Resolution 243, 2022 is authorizing the payment of bills, claims, and statements against the Borough of Milltown in the total amount of $3,928,962.22.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I move that the bill list be approved as typed. Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Council President Zambrana. Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Councilman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky?
All right.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We'll move on to the introduction of resolutions. When voting on resolutions, all matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine in nature and, having been reviewed by the Borough Council, will be enacted by one motion. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda at the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate matter. Any items requiring expenditure are supported by a certification of availability of funds. Are there any questions, or does any council person wish to pull any resolution from the consent agenda?
I would like to pull 251, 2022 and 252, 2022.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay, will the clerk please read the consent resolution?
Whereas pursuant to the rules of council, the council may establish a consent agenda for any regular or special meeting, and whereas the Borough Clerk has posted a consent agenda for this meeting. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Borough Council of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, that the consent agenda previously prepared by the Borough Clerk be approved without the necessity of having the individual resolutions read by the Borough Clerk.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I make a motion that these resolutions be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any discussion? Okay, so the council will make a motion and a second to approve the resolutions 244, 2020 through 254, 2022, except for 251 and 252, 2022. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Councilman O'Donnell?
Aye.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky? Motion carries.
Thank you. Will the clerk please read Resolution 251, 2022 by title?
251, 2022 is authorizing certain personnel actions in the Administration Department.
For the reading of this resolution, what is your pleasure?
Move the resolution be adopted.
Second.
Have a motion by Councilman Peretti, second by Councilman Potter. Any discussion?
I just wanted to reiterate that I think, while the candidates brought forward both in the first time this came forth and this second time seem qualified, that I would prefer that this position be split into two, in not one job, not one full-time job, but two part-time jobs with some flexibility to increase or decrease those hours as we see the need.
Anyone else? Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana?
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell?
No.
Councilman Peretti?
Aye.
Councilman Potter?
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Pass 151.
Excuse me, will the clerk please read Resolution 252, 2022 by title?
252, 2022 is a resolution appointing Sean P. Canning, QPA, to the position of qualified purchasing agent and increasing the bid threshold pursuant to NJSA 40:11-3A and NJAC 5:34-5 EDSA.
You've heard the reading of this resolution. What is your pleasure?
Madam Mayor, I move that this resolution be adopted.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Council President Zambrana. Any discussion?
Yes, I asked that this be pulled because I was hoping that our administrator could explain to, especially to our residents, why we're doing this and how this helps us. I found the explanation that I heard as a member of the Finance Committee very helpful in my support of this.
Sure.
So a QPA is a qualified purchasing agent, and in accordance with purchasing laws, absent a QPA, the threshold for purchases is held to $17,500. And this becomes very difficult because anything that we want to expend over that amount, we would have to go out to bid for. And although we do have the ability to use state contracts when available, they aren't always the most cost-efficient way. So by appointing a QPA, we now have a professional that will help increase our threshold to $44,000, so that there are some projects that are going on right at this moment that we'd like to go on that now we would be able to move forward. And we would also have that professional on hand to write those bid specs and put these items out for bid to even get a more, what's the word I'm looking for? Competitive bid. So that would be one of, the reason that we would want to do this.
I know that my perception of QPA, and I'm guessing that other council members or maybe our residents thought the same, was that just having the person who was qualified with kind of those letters after their name meant that we could do that type of bidding and whatnot, but that's the person who actually has to tediously prepare all of these paperwork requirements, and I think you found something that was very economical.
Yes.
And this would allow us to sign a contract for the term of a year and try it out and keep our fingers crossed that it works as planned. If it doesn't, it's a short term, but we fully anticipate with the due diligence that you did in speaking to other towns that used the same service, I guess I'm showing my support in advance of the vote.
And as an aside, many other government agencies are working toward this, having this professional, because it's cheaper than actually hiring somebody and paying them. But because it's a very important role, that there's a lot of responsibility that goes with it, so it's nice to be able to put that on someone else, but while the town gains all the benefits from having that appointed official.
Yeah, so thank you for the work in identifying this for us to take a look at.
Hey, Jeanette, can I ask a question? Could you just give one example of one project that this is going to help with?
Absolutely. So we have the move of the monument for the fire department that we have been trying very hard to solicit quotes, and we've gone out to bid several times, and we've been unsuccessful. The prices that we've gotten in are over our threshold. So now with the QPA, we would be able to just, as long as it comes in under the 44,000, we would be able to go forward with that project.
And would another one be the roof at the library?
The roof at the library, we also have the senior center roof. So yes, there are, and that's just 3 projects that, that we're coming up with off the top of our head that we've been kind of hamstrung right now to move forward with.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you, Margaret, for pointing that out. Thanks, Jeanette, for the explanation. Seeing none, will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilwoman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to public hearing for ordinances. This is the public hearing for ordinance 22-1517, and since introduction, full copies of ordinance 22-1517 are presently posted on the Borough website, on the bulletin board at Borough Hall, and are available at no cost in the office of the municipal clerk between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. Clerk Marler, will you please read the ordinance by title only?
22-1517, an ordinance to add Chapter 2, Administration, Articles 13, Nepotism Policy of Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, to include a policy regulating nepotism within the Borough of Milltown.
May I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for ordinance 22-1517?
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Revelinsky, second by Councilman Potter. The public hearing on ordinance 22-1517 is now open to any member of the public who wishes to speak on ordinance 22-1517. Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion and a second to close the public hearing for ordinance 22-1517.
So moved.
I have a motion by Councilman Peretti, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing for ordinance 22-1517 is now closed. May I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 22-1517?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilwoman O'Donnell, second by Council President Zambrana. Any further questions or comments? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky. Motion carries.
Next, we'll have the public hearing for ordinance 22-1518. And since introduction, full copies of ordinance 22-1518 are posted on the Borough website, on the bulletin board at the Borough Hall, and have been available at no cost in the office of the municipal clerk between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m., Monday through Friday. Clerk Marler, will you please read the ordinance by title only?
22-1518, ordinance of the Borough of Milltown, County of Middlesex, and State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 11 of the revised general ordinances of the Borough of Milltown, specifically Section 11-10.1, to provide administration with the discretion to hire entry-level police officers pursuant to NJSA 11A:4-1.3.
May I have a motion and a second to open the public hearing for ordinance 22-1518?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
The public hearing on ordinance 22-1518 is now open to any member of the public who wishes to speak on ordinance 22-1518. Seeing none, I'll take a motion and a second to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The public hearing for ordinance 22-15 is now closed. May I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 22-1518?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilwoman O'Donnell. Any further comments or questions? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Council President Zambrana.
Aye.
Councilman O'Donnell.
Aye.
Councilman Peretti.
Aye.
Councilman Potter.
Aye.
Councilman Revelinsky.
Aye.
Motion carries to adopt.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to council reports. The first one will be from the Department of Public Safety, Councilman Dave Potter.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, I have two reports to report on this evening. The first one is from the Milltown Police Department, from Chief Brian Kennelly. Between October 1st, 2022 and November 2nd, 2022, police have responded to 952 calls for service. During this period, police conducted 84 radar details in numerous locations. Police made 111 motor vehicle stops during this period. 8 arrests were made, which included shoplifting and contempt of court. Police responded to 17 motor vehicle accidents, which included minor injuries. Residents are reminded to continue to drive safely and use extra caution as utility and road work continue throughout the town. We appreciate your cooperation and patience during these projects. Parents and guardians should be reminded that any children under the age of 17 is required by New Jersey law to wear a safety helmet when riding a bicycle. The Milltown Police Department is currently accepting applications for full-time and part-time records clerk and secretary, part-time crossing guards, and full and part-time police dispatchers. Applications are available online at www.milltownnj.org or in person at the Milltown Borough Clerk's Office. Please continue to report suspicious activity, traffic concerns, and non-emergency type calls to 732-828-1100. Emergency and life-threatening calls, please use 911. Any concerns and or complaints can be submitted by using the official Borough website or by calling the Milltown Police directly. Thank you for your cooperation, Chief Brian Kennelly. Madam Mayor, my second report is from the Milltown Fire Department. For the month of October, there were 3 drills, 1 meeting, 11 fire calls, 3 special assignments, 4 work details, with a total of 22 incidents. The fire department wrote its last requisitions for 2022. The department budget has closed for the year. The entire line item for vehicle maintenance was expended at $45,000. A proposal was submitted to the mayor and council and BA for the purchase of a new fire engine in 2023, which would help mitigate the cost of maintaining older equipment. The last time the borough purchased a new fire engine was in 2003. However, the ladder truck was purchased in 2016. Regarding membership, congratulations to Fireman Joseph Citro, who got married. Regarding training, the department attended a live burn at Middlesex County Fire Academy on Sunday, October 16th. Members completed 3 scenarios and trained with members of Elmwood Park Fire Department. Regarding vehicle maintenance, repairs were completed or parts ordered for engine 62 and 63. Gauges needed to be fixed on engine 72. Ladder 73 failed its annual aerial testing due to a drift issue with the extension retracted cylinders. Ladder 73 is still in service. This issue causes it to be out of specification, but not enough to make it unusable. An estimate for repair is being prepared. Clear coat on Chief's Car 83 is peeling. An estimate for repainting the hood and quarter panels is in hand, but repairs will have to wait until next year. Regarding equipment maintenance, one length of the 1 3/4 hose was taken out of service due to wear and abrasions. A new hose has been ordered. 2 thermal imaging camera batteries were ordered. Regarding buildings and grounds, the ice machine was sanitized and cleaned, and the fire department is still waiting for a plan regarding the monument. However, with the good news we have tonight, hopefully we'll look forward for good news in the future. And the fire board has some ideas too, in case we need some more opinions on it. Members always needed. Candidates interested in joining the Milltown Fire Department are encouraged to stop by the firehouse Monday nights at 6:30 or email joinmilltownfire@gmail.com. Respectfully submitted, Stephen Battaglia, Chief of the Milltown Fire Department. And Madam Mayor, my final report is with the Planning Board. So just to let everybody know, as an update, the November 2nd meeting was canceled due to no applications, no public hearings, and no new resolutions. However, there will be a full agenda for our upcoming meeting on December 7th. And that concludes my reports.
Great, thank you. Next, we will move on to the Department of Utilities, Councilman James Peretti.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Starting with the electric utility, substation continues to be checked daily. Transformer testing is scheduled for the month of November. Several branches noticed in the overhead wiring during an overhead patrol and subsequently removed. Department members responded to an outage on the south side of town. A Mylar balloons came in contact with primary wires and caused a short circuit, which caused several breaks in the wires. Repairs were made and the power was restored. Please be responsible with celebratory balloons and pop them before disposing them. Several residents reported streetlight issues. Approximately 7 streetlights have been repaired. The department began installing the safety nets at Michelin Field. 4 poles and 7 anchors were set. The support cables and guy wires were installed on November 4th. Some of the playground equipment will be cautioned off for the time being until that work is completed. The monthly reminder, the utility department worked with the building department to replace malfunctioning meters, and they would like to also remind the public that electric meters are to be accessible to meter readers. They do encounter properties with locked gates prohibiting access, which can cause estimated bills. Make sure you trim vegetation in front of meters and overgrown bushes, because those could conceal bees nests and cause any estimated bills. Residents can fill out monthly reading cards and submit them to the building department, or residents can take pictures of their electric or water meters and send those pictures to the following email address: aham@milltownborough.com. That's AHAMM@milltownborough.com. Cards are available at the billing office or can be delivered to your mailbox if you request them. Also, reminder, if residents are required to post a warning sign on all gates where a dog may be present in the backyard. Now on to the water and sewer department. Along with all work orders, markouts, and emergency markouts, the department has the following to report. Pump number 1 has had the impeller replaced and has been reinstalled and is back online. Elkins Lane's pumps 1 and 2 have been rehabbed and all new seals put in, and external pressure gauges have been replaced. Hydrant flushing began on November 9th and is still ongoing until completed. PSG&G work continues throughout the town, and our department handles all of the markouts for those works. Please check Channel 15 and milltownnj.org for water and sewer updates. 2 just small additional reports. The HRC committee had their monthly meeting on November 1st, and we had the pleasure of meeting with members of Colab Arts to discuss a collaborative art initiative that will focus on diversity and inclusion efforts in town. Really excited to be working on that, and they'll be partnering with the revitalization committee to get that project up and going. And lastly, I had the pleasure of attending on November 2nd. The Borough of Madison had arranged for a Zoom call with Douglas Tallamy, who is a best-selling author of the book called Nature's Best Hope. It was a really, really informative conversation about questions about, pertaining to municipalities, and it's really about native plants and creating pollinator-friendly landscapes with simplistic and easy attainable steps. That was a Zoom and was recorded and was shared with everyone on there. So if anyone of the public is interested in that, please reach out to me. My email jperetti@milltownborough.com, and I can get that over to you. But again, anyone who's interested in simple ways to get pollinator gardens inside your own house and inside your yard, or efforts in town, I think it's really educational. So that concludes my report.
I think a lot of people will be interested in that.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And thanks to the electric department. I had heard about that outage, and they
Yes.
got on it very.
It was a very quick response for that Mylar balloon, which freak accident, but
And I think that was the day of a Yankee playoff game, so they got everyone's TV on.
back on time for the big game, yes.
And to thank the utility department too. The other day, I got a call from the mayor of East Brunswick. They had a major water main break, which brought in the water from to Spotswood, South River, East Brunswick, and he pointed out that he called Milltown for some help, and even though it was on the weekend, people were over there right away. So it's nice that the towns can cooperate. We had to cooperate with North Brunswick when we had our force main break, so everybody pitches in, and even if it's on a weekend. So thanks to the utility department for doing that.
Yes.
Now we have the Department of Public Works and Recycling. Councilwoman Newbauer isn't here, so Councilwoman O'Donnell will have her
I'm
report.
happy to represent for
Thank you.
Councilwoman Newbauer, who couldn't be with us this evening. And I'm bringing you the DPW report. Along with all curbside trash collection and bulk pickups, DPW has the following to report. The soccer field has been lined for the final session of the Rec Fall program. Leaf pickup at various public buildings and parks has begun and will be ongoing. Work already referenced in the utility report at Michelin Field on the safety nets has begun, and actually may be completed. Heard some rumors about that. Safety material is being put down at all parks. Another DPW employee has successfully completed CDL training. Road repair has taken place on Bayer Avenue from a past water main break. Park bathrooms have been winterized for the season. Leaf bags are still available at 50 Washington Avenue, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. Leaf bag collection is ongoing. Please put them out on your garbage day and leave them out. We thank the residents for their patience. There are some holiday schedule changes forthcoming. Thursday, November 24th will be collected on Monday, November 21st. Friday, November 25th will be collected on Tuesday, November 22nd. And please check Channel 15 and milltownnj.org for other DPW updates. Thank you.
Great, thank you. And we'll keep it over with you for the Department of Recreation report. Thank you.
Okay, I have a couple of reports for you.
Okay.
And I start in date order from the beginning of the month. It's not a favorites thing, it just keeps me organized. So the library board takes place on the second Tuesdays, so that's why it usually comes first. The library has updates to its website, including staff pics that you can check out. And there are updates within the library as well, especially in the reference and young adult sections. New policies and procedures are in being implemented, and in addition, there are many new programs. Some of them include a terrarium workshop, yoga programs for babies, toddlers, and adults. The only stat that is down at the library is curbside pickup, and we're happy to say that that's because more people are coming inside the library. In November, the Friends of the Library have their auction, which is taking place right now and ongoing. I had a chance to check that out on Saturday, and I encourage our residents to visit there until this Saturday when that auction ends. In December, there'll be watch for information about a fun game night for families. And in 2023, the library will experiment with going fine-free for any overdue books. And they also may be starting a seed library there. There's a subcommittee working on a project to create new resident welcome kits. So hopefully we'll hear more about that soon. And just want to thank Debbie Miller for providing me with a few other pieces of information going on in the library that I thought were additionally relevant. There are several programs coming up that have a registration required, and that's why I wanted to highlight them. Saturday, November 19th, Bingo for Kids and Read with a Pooch. On Monday, November 21st, Coding with Tinkercad. And on Tuesday, November 29th, one of the new yoga programs I referenced, and then the Read What You Want book club. The theme this month is books adapted to movies, and the library has some holiday closures coming up, Thursday, November 24th, and Friday, November 25th, but they will be reopening on Saturday, November 26th, and Lego Club will be held on that day. Next, I have a report from the Rec Advisory Committee. Our meetings are third Wednesdays at 7. The next one is coming up this week, November 16th, in the Borough Hall Meeting Room. I have the rec department report next. Let me get that from your computer. Hang on a second. Okay. And this comes from Ron Cephalon, our Director of Recreation. Youth basketball registration opened on October 24th. Please visit Community Pass to register. Fall soccer and Fundamental Fours program is now complete. Youngsters received their awards on Saturday, November 5th. Multi-sports went great and finished up on Sunday, October 30th. The movie night went very well in Borough Park, and there'll be more to come in the spring and summer of 2023. I know I attended, Councilman Potter, Mayor, so we can confirm that it was a great night. Our Borough tree lighting will be held on December 2nd, and an additional participant this year is the brass quintet from the Princeton Brass Band. Our netting project at Michelin Park says here is now complete. I look forward to seeing that. And he thanks Ralph's team, led by John Eckert, for their assistance with that safety netting. There are many happy residents are enjoying the new Albert Avenue basketball court, and many happy folks are participating in pickleball at our 2 new courts at Michelin Field. And today we received pictures of the nets that were installed there. So lots going on over at Michelin. Please be sure to visit the Recreation webpage to familiarize yourself with upcoming programs and new activities, along with park locations and park improvements, because we've added a new web subpage under Recreation to show off the park improvements. So be sure to follow the before, during, and after construction photos that are located there. And please continue to make Milltown Recreation a community in motion. All right, and I also have a report from Historic Preservation. That committee meets on the 4th Tuesdays at 6:30 via Zoom. However, the 4th Tuesday in November is Thanksgiving, so we've had a schedule change for November. The meeting will be this Thursday, November 17th. And then for December, there's also a schedule change because that 4th Thursday has a close proximity to the holidays, so it will be held the next Thursday, which is Thursday, December 29th. Our chair, while I'm still on the schedule changes, we did request to our Borough Clerk to change the time of the meeting for the 2023 schedule from 6:30 to 7:30. Some of the participants on the committee thought that would be helpful, especially for parents of young ones who they need to get in bed before meetings start. So, our chair, Randy Ruth, will be doing a presentation at our next council meeting. I believe that's confirmed.
Yeah.
Yes, I got a nod from the Borough Clerk. Thank you. And he also hopes to do a similar presentation at the Planning Board to request consideration of inclusion in the master plan and generally more interaction with the board. The committee was happy to hear the council discussing the status of the railroad trestle, and I got a brief update on that from our borough attorney. And they are also interested in following what we're doing with the rehabilitation plan. And they asked about the appointment of a borough historian, and as we begin to prepare for the new year and new appointments, I thought that would be a good thing to bring up, that they're looking forward to that. And I believe that concludes my lengthy reports for the evening.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, the movie was very nice. We were very fortunate that it was one of those 70-degree Fridays, so it was fairly well attended, and we're looking forward to more in the Milltown movie series, so it's good to hear all that's going on. Next, we'll move on to the Department of Environmental, Health, and Social Services, Councilman Rich Revelinsky.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I will take my report to the next time so that it's better heard in
Okay.
person.
That's fine. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. Thank you. Perfect. Next, the Department of Finance, Administration, and Planning, Council President Phil Zambrana.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I don't have a finance report tonight. Ford Avenue is scheduled for tomorrow, and once that meeting goes through, we'll report back to the residents and to the council on any next steps or any new information that has come up. I have a short report from the Senior Center, and this has been submitted by Debbie Cuddy, our director. So as always, the Senior Center has the following regularly scheduled programs on the calendar, and these programs include aerobics, line dancing, yoga, tai chi, billiards, walk aerobics, men's club, chorus, Spanish, arts and crafts, bingo, and our monthly VNA nurse visits. On Tuesday, November 15th, which is tomorrow at 12 p.m., there will be a speaker from Veterans Benefits, and the presenter will discuss eligibility for benefits for veterans and their families. Sign-up is required. The VNA nurse will also be there tomorrow, Tuesday, November 15th at 12 p.m. for appointments for Milltown residents. Sign-up on the bulletin board is also encouraged. Our arts and craft class meets on Fridays at 11:30 a.m. and participants are making beautiful decorations with a holiday theme. The next class is scheduled for Friday, November 18th, this week at 11:30 a.m. There is a trip scheduled to Boscov's in Woodbridge Center on Monday the 21st. That will leave the Senior Center at 9:30 a.m. On Tuesday, November 22nd, Jeanette Larison and I will be in attendance at the Senior Center for our next rap session with the seniors, and lunch will be served after the meeting. There is a trip to the Amish Market on Wednesday, November 23rd, which will be leaving the Senior Center at 9:30 a.m. Again, sign up on the bulletin board is required. Just a quick reminder from the Senior Center, will be closed Thursday, November 24th, and Friday, the 25th for Thanksgiving, and will reopen on Monday, November 28th. Seniors do not have to join the Milltown Senior Club or to attend activities at the Senior Center or to arrange a doctor's appointment or other trips such as for food shopping. If you would like to attend any of the programs, you can call Debbie Cuddy at 732-296-0681, or of course you can shoot Debbie an email at dcuddy@milltownborough.com. Any additional information can be found by going to the milltownnj.org website and navigating to the Senior Center homepage. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Administrator report, anything this evening?
No report this evening.
Next, our engineering report, Mr. McClellan.
Just a short report time, Madam Mayor. First item is Hagen Patain. The base and surface courses have been installed. We're in the process of looking at punch lists, but most of the road is complete. Next is we're working on Clayton Court. As you know, the board was made at the last council meeting. We're processing the approval of the DOT because it's funded by them, has to approve the award. We're waiting to hear back from them. As soon as we get them that approval from DOT, we'll schedule a pre-construction meeting, get a schedule so you know when the work will complete. That's all I have.
Thank you. And Mr. McClellan has really nice pictures of the finished streets, so if anyone on the council wants to take a look at those, looks good. Thank you. Anybody have any questions?
I have a quick question.
Sure.
A resident nearby to Hagen Pateen had their driveway blocked and their street blocked off on West Voch so that equipment and trucks and things could get by, and they indicate that they hadn't been notified. Is there a certain proximity that receives notification of the road work? Is it only the actual residents of the roads that are being reconstructed, or is it nearby streets as well and they just missed a notification?
Well, even if they were notified, there should be never a case where the contractor blocks someone's driveway. This is really not something. If you have the address, I can check on and see what happened, but that's not something that under any circumstances okay to do.
I'll provide you the
Please.
address after the meeting.
We'll talk to them and get the contract straightened out, okay?
Yeah, thank you. But do they receive a notification that might be going on?
Sometimes the corner houses do, but as far as going through and notifying people on West Foch that work's going on Hagen Patain, it's not normally done.
Gotcha.
Unless there's an impact, utilities, something like that. But generally, there should never be an instance where the contractor blocks or something's driving.
And that happens to be overlapping with the PSE&G work.
Yes.
So it was double whammy, I guess, you know. And what about the notifications for PSE&G? Because the same resident seemed unfamiliar with the process there and a little bit surprised by what was going on.
It's being managed by your Public Works Department, but we understand those haven't been sent out.
Yeah, I remember seeing a copy of the notice. I just didn't remember exactly the timing and how many instances, how many times it went out.
Well, let me have the number, and I'll call and we'll talk to Ralph also, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, no problem.
Any other questions? Okay, thank you. Attorney report?
No report tonight.
Okay, thank you. So a couple of things I heard that we're getting ready for the end of the year already. It's hard to believe, but as we come up to the end of the year, starting in December, or actually, well, I'll kick it off right now, let everyone know that if you would like to be a member of a committee and you're not on a committee already, there are citizen leadership applications available on our website. If you're already on a committee, you don't need to fill it out again. We're very fortunate to have several committees that have a lot of engaged citizens on there, but we'd always love to have more people get involved. So go to the Borough website and look for that citizen leadership app if you would like to become a member of a committee, and preferably do that before,
December 15th, maybe?
Okay,
That
yeah.
would be, give us time to get assignments in place.
You've got about a month or so. It's a busy time. We all have the New Jersey League of Municipalities coming up. Several members of the staff at Borough go down because they get continuing credits. I'm going down. I believe some of the council members are going down to get ideas and to see what the league has to share, and hopefully we'll come back with some new ideas, and we get to interact with other mayors and council people and professionals down there. So we'll follow up at the next meeting. The next meeting is 2 weeks from tonight, and so before that, we will have Thanksgiving, so I want to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. We have a lot to be thankful for here in Milltown. We have such wonderful staff. We have, incredibly engaged residents, so we have a small town that has a wonderful sense of community, and for that, I'm very thankful. So I hope you all enjoy the holiday with your family and friends. With that, we'll go to old business. Does any member of the council have any old business to bring before us this evening? Hearing none, I'll move on to new business. Does any member of the council have any new business to bring before us this evening? Hearing none, I will move to audience comments. The public comment portion of our meeting is to allow the public to bring to the council's attention their concerns or comments. The council will respect the public's time by refraining any comment until the speaker has finished. It should be further noted that the comment portion of our meeting is not structured as a question and answer session. If a member of the public has specific questions they seek answers to, an appointment can be made with the appropriate office. Please state your name and address for the record when you come to the podium. Good evening.
Evening. Lee Weisenberger, 99 JFK Drive. Since the last meeting, when we were talking about the railroad bridge and stuff, I've been able to catch up a little bit on what's going on, but I'd like to give thanks to the Historical Society of Milltown and the Raritan River Historical Society and the Tri-State Historical Society on the railroad. And like I said, I can't keep pace with all what's going on, and I did happen to get on their websites, and I've been checking out some stuff. The Milltown Historical Society, I'm really thankful to, for coming up with a lot of old photographs. I don't know where they're getting them from, but they are a tremendous help to everybody.
Good.
And one of the pictures that was submitted to them by a resident, and I don't think it was actually dated, but it referred to one of the duck races. And while they were down there, they happened to see a plaque on the bridge when that bridge was built, the little trestle. And it's on their website, and it's the American Bridge Company in New York, USA, 1907. And that is another piece that fits a puzzle.
Yep.
They've also, the Historical Society, I don't know how many people are doing this, but they're digging into the home news, the daily home news, and coming up with a lot of old articles pertaining to the factory, when things were happening, and it's a great help, like I said, to everybody. And for anybody interested in the Raritan River Railroad, Tom Reynolds is the chapter president. And like I said, within the last year or two now, they've come out with some very good videos now on YouTube. And I suggest you try and look them up if you can. And because there's Zoom meetings, but like I said, you can just watch the whole thing. Some of them are 2 hours or more long, giving you the whole history on it and what took place. Because a lot of people think Raritan River Railroad was a quiet little operation, but in its start, it was pretty violent. So, but like I said, yeah, on YouTube, if you go to it, it's a membership meeting, April 2021, and it's the rise and fall of the Raritan River. That's one of them. And like I said, it's very interesting. So, like I said, I just want to give credit to all of them, and just say thank you.
Good.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close audience comments and move on to council comments. Does any member of the council have any final comment?
Madam Mayor, I just want to say two things. First is to wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving together with your families. And thank you for mentioning the League of Municipalities, which is where I went last year, and I discovered something called pickleball. And brought it back to
Yep.
Councilman Peretti and Councilwoman O'Donnell, and who knew, a year later, we have a pickleball court. So
That's
you
right.
never know what you find down there.
That's very true. Anyone else? There was, yeah, it just shows with the movies, when we're all during lockdown, we had several people that said, wouldn't it be nice to have a movie in the park, right? And some other towns were doing it and then stopped. And so it was really great that the rec department and rec committee could pick up that idea and start it, luckily, on a nice Friday night in November, but then we can continue, and, we'll ask for input from people, but, so it shows how, things that we hear or are asked and people are interested in, we're certainly listening, and we want to hear more and more of your ideas of how to make our town better. Anyone else? All right, so then I will take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Potter, second by Councilman Peretti. All in favor? Aye. All right, good night, everyone. Thank you.
It's one of those every time you see it, going away from it, like